Right, V90 2017. Obvious water in the lights problem, as pretty sure everybody who's got one of these will have faced. There's loads of videos out there, but I've not found one that's been like a definitive guide to doing it. There's been, I've pulled information from about 4 or 5 different videos. So I'm not a video maker, I'm not a mechanic. I am going to try and make a video that will hopefully start to finish explain it and either show how easy or how hard it is. I don't know yet, we'll find out. It looks like it's going to be a pain in the backside, but one thing I did do the other day, it's the near side light that's giving me grief. So while it was parked up, I disconnected it, because you can get to the wire there, but look, there's the bolt. You can see the bolt. So I think I've been quite lucky. I don't know if you can just make that out to the right of the grey thing. So the bolt that's fell out of the top has been caught there, so I'm going to get a magnet and try and catch that before it falls any further into the car, because I don't know what that entails. But I believe we move this out the way, that swings out the way or something, there's a bolt under there, and the rest of it's just clips. So as I unpick it and try and do whatever, I will do other little videos and try and splice them together, and we'll see how it goes. So that just lifts off. You've got your like spring-loaded clip jobbies there, and then that pulls back, and in there's an 8mm bolt, which I believe is the only bolt that holds that full plastic thing on. But well, and that bit of carpeted trim as well, but we'll find out. There might be one behind that, but we'll see. Stay at my shoes, it's hanging in it. Okay, so with that bolt undone, that full seatbelt thing just comes out now, and it can just be there for a bit. But there's no way of getting the belt through that by the looks of things, so oh, here we go, we're doing this live, mate. See what's occurred. There we go. It's not protested too much at all, really. That was much easier than I expected, but there's nothing behind that, by the way. Do a bit more fighting with this with 2 hands so I don't damage it, but I'm thinking that this full thing is going to have to just go over there, because you can't get the seatbelt through it. So yeah, not quite got as far as getting that off just yet, but there is a wire, so don't just go pulling it. Disconnect that wire first. It's probably just a little spring-loaded jobber, I don't know. I'm not going to video how that comes out, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. Alright, there we go. All I've done is extended the seat belt, so that can just go over there. Then it's out. You've got to lift this boot tray up a little bit to get it out, because it's kind of under there, but it comes out pretty easy. It's not too much of a fight. So now you can see a little bit better. That's where the light plugs in. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of corrosion on there, but you can see the bolt a lot better now. I'll get this piece of trim out, and I believe the mechanical load cover is there as well from the other videos that I've watched, but I reckon it's going to be just taking that out and then a bit of yanking. And to be dead honest with you, that was much easier than I expected. And if you've not got to the point where they're actually failing and all you want to do is take your nut out and put a bit of Loctite on and whack it back in, that's literally a 10-minute job. So unfortunately mine are, oh, there's another nut there, we'll get that out as well. Mine are a bit past that now, but yeah, you can actually see. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop waffling. Yeah, so them 2 nuts there, they're just a T25, and this is probably more for my benefit than yours. But when that falls down, that load cover mover, it's kind of hooked in with these hooks there, so the trim can come away and just go and live over there for a bit, and that can just be put out of the way. And then I think now, this is first look, move that little boy out the way there, and can we see? Yep, we can see the hole where the nut should be. So that's pretty good, isn't it? Right, I'm going to do the other side now. If there's anything different or eventful, I will video it, but I've got a feeling it's going to be pretty much the same, with the exception of these buttons maybe, and that, and the light. So if it's anything different, I'll come back. Okay, so I am going to video it. You press those little lugs so it comes out of the trim, and then the spring loaded bits on the bottom of the light, so you can't get to it while it's plugged in. So push it through and just unspring it. Again, more for my references, so see how it goes back together. We've got the same configuration with the light. Looks like there's been some fuckery in here before though, because that's now cable tied in, so this panel's been off before. And there's fuckery on the cigarette lighter socket. Someone's pulled 12 from there for some reason. Wonder where that goes. And then these, that's just a little plug for the rear seat thing. It goes in the top one, again for my reference. I'll get these unplugged and then get that yeeted over there, and then that's the wonder what that was. That looks like the same wire going down there. Wonder what that is. Does that look standard? If I figure out what that is, I'll let you know. So there's the other light connector. I can't see whether the nuts fell out of there yet, but it's literally press that and then it just pulls off. I think. I can't remember what I did on the other one. It was the other day. Come on. Might be one on the other side. Yep, there is. There's one on each side. So there we go. Oh no, there's not. God knows, it felt like there was one on the other side. Can't see a nut. Don't mean there's not one though. Don't know. We'll see. So, update on that. That is definitely not standard. I think it might be a tracker, which is pretty cool. I'll have to have a... My video skills leave a lot to be desired, don't they? Sorry. Yeah, the guy that I bought this car off was a police officer, so I wonder if it's anything fancy or whether he was just conscientious and wanted a tracker. Don't know, but looks pretty cool. I'll rip it out if it's not doing anything, but that's that side off. I'm just about to fight with that, but it's just going to be the same. Alright, so got all the inside stripped out now. The bolt's still in that one. All that stripped out. There's no bolt in that one. I'm yet to get it out of the finger. Now let's get the bumper off. It's going to be fun. Fun. They're just a T15. And they come out. You could probably do it without the Torx bit, to be fair. Doesn't seem like it did an awful lot, but just gonna fight with that one. But there you go, it just comes out. And then I believe there is like 5 inside the wheel arch, maybe I'll hose that before I get involved. Yeah, there's 5 there, and you peel this back, but I'll try and document that. Yeah, so a torch always helps. So you've got 1, 2, 3 at the bottom, and then 1 there. I think that's got to come off. But there's 5 in there, and I believe the T27s. But yeah, no, they're a T25, and obviously, why would that fit? You know what I mean? Why would it fit? So it's either wheel off, jack it up, or find a different tool, and I'm probably going to find a different tool because I cannot be arsed with doing any of that other stuff. Don't overthink it, just get your socket and do it with your hands because they're not that tight. So that's just work for those 3. I'm going to get something to sit on because the floor's wet and I'm soft. So this is where it starts to get complicated. All them just come out just with me holding that, just held that and turned it with my fingers. They weren't tight at all. and then that did the same just with my fingers. It was just up there. Now there is like a plastic thing that goes through. Not doing a very good job here, I know, but it's like a plastic fork that goes through this body panel and the bumper, and then there's a nut that bolts it together. So I'm going to figure out what size that is, take it out and do my best to show you how to get it out. Okay, so it's not a nut, it's a screw, a Torx screw, and I was able to just bend that back, and it's literally, it's just like there. So I was able to get the impact in and just undo it, being lazy. But now there's that plastic thing that I was talking about that I need to figure out how to get out. So that sits like that. This is the passenger side, just again for my reference. So you can see that's where the screw goes in, and that sits like that. And I thought it was sandwiched between something, but it's not sandwiched. It literally just lifts out, and then this should now, there we go, Bob's your uncle. So I've just done all the 5 Torx and that little plastic clip. Zoom out a little bit there. So you literally just that's it's muddy as hell. I believe there's some more Torx under here to get the bumper off. I know people have done it without taking the bumper off, but I believe it's not a lot more work to get it off, and it makes it a lot easier to get the lights out and stuff. So I'm definitely going to get something to lie on to get under there, get these bolts out, get the bumper off, figure out how to disconnect the parking sensors, which I'm sure will just be easy. If there's anything eventful, I will record it. Not eventful, but it looks pretty easy, so I figured while I'm laid down, I can procrastinate a little bit. It looks like there's just 2 there, 2 there, and then it should just slide off. I'll find the parking sensor wire, but that'll be obvious. Just don't pull the bumper off because you've got the wire. It literally is that easy. It just falls off once you've got those 4 bolts out the bottom. That's where your parking sensors connect to. It's just your standard clip. I'm going to be taking these lights out and drying them as best I can. So I'm going to be covering everything up for the rain, because we've just had Storm Shelley, or whatever she's called. But I believe now the next step is to loosen these so that this bumper bracket comes down, and then it's that there, that's the bastard that causes all the problems, and I don't think there's another. So we'll do that for both sides, and there we go. But so far it's been very easy. Let's try and catch some magic. So yeah, 8mm. Put them down, and 8mm. Just record the pins. So they're all 8mm by the looks of things, and then that pulls out the way enough. See if I can do that with one hand as well. Pulls out the way enough to get that on there. This is a right long boy. You won't want to be doing that with that plastic in the way. So there we go. And yeah, should be easy now. Okay, this might be the most noteworthy part of the video. That is the bolt, or the nut, that holds the light assembly and the bottom bolt, and it's just like a nut with a big washer. Now I don't know where that cavity goes. I don't know if you can get anything out of it. I won't fancy fishing around with a magnet, because the magnet will just stick to the body. So I didn't want to drop that down there. So what I did, I just put a bit of tape over my socket so that it was a nice snug fit. So it's less likely to fall out. That might be the best tip ever, and I'm going to use that to put the nut back in the top when I do refit them. But I'm at the stage now where I still can't get that nut just yet, but I'm hoping it's not going to fall any further when I take the light out, and then I should just be able to grab it with my fingers. But let's see. Yeah, not retrieved, dead easy. Just it didn't fall. I was lucky. But I would take all the precautions you possibly can, because, well, why would you want to be fishing around in there when you could be pulling the rest of your car apart? A bit of a dissection now. Obviously that nut falls out, it leaves a gap or whatever, and then water gets in behind that seal. Now, let's see if that'll stick there. Should do. Come on, man. These seals, I've ordered some replacement seals, but the TPU, so apparently they're harder, and they don't shrink, so they're not here yet. So I'm going to put these lights on top of my boiler where it's nice and warm, let them dry out, and then I'll get them in the workshop and clean. There's some crusty contacts in there. They're not that bad, but they're not that good. So it gives me a bit of opportunity to let the lights dry out, and then I can clean the contacts. Hopefully the seals will be here today, but if not, so be it. But yeah, that's that, and that's just like a foam. I'll show you the comparison between the replacement ones that I've ordered and these, but I'm going to take them off anyway, just so that the air can get out. Really, might get the compressor and just put a bit of high pressure air through it just to blow it out. I don't know, we'll see. That one looks alright, doesn't look like it can actually let any water in. Obviously I'm going to be using thread lock when I put them back together. Something quite interesting, and I think is a little bit naughty. That is an incandescent bulb. So if this was a full LED light, fair enough, make it that difficult to not take out, because in theory LEDs last forever, so you never need to remove the light. But why put an incandescent, and I believe it's for the indicator. Yeah, it looks pretty orange. It's for the indicator. Why put an incandescent bulb in a headlight that's so bloody difficult to remove? That's just disgusting. That's horrible. So, excuse the state of the workshop floor, but I've managed to get the Henry with an adapter into the indicator socket. Fan heater, obviously watching it so it won't get too hot and keep touching it. But there was loads of moisture there. You can just about see a couple of drops, so my theory was, as the heat evaporates it, rather than it going to the highest point, it will just get sucked out, and it seems to be working pretty well, so that might be a good tip for somebody. So I bought these TPU upgradable things. I'm not 100% sold on them, but I'm going to give them a go. What I've done, I've put a bead of CT1. I'm going to tidy that up a little bit, and then that's going to go on there. So hopefully the CT1 will seal to the back of that, and then I'm going to put lithium grease on the side that mates with the car body, so it should just give it a better level of protection. They do seem like they squeeze there. They're 3D printed, and you can see the patterns that reinforce the middle. The guy that sells them on eBay says he's had them on his car for 3 months and he's had no trouble. So hopefully they do the job. But yeah, we'll see. But that's what I'm doing. I'm just upgrading. He didn't use any sealant on his or anything, but I'm just I don't want to take these lights out again. So there we are. I put that bead of silicone, well not silicone, it's CT1. Put the new seal in place, and I'm just going to let that cure. Obviously going to do the other one now, and then when they've cured, I'm going to fit the lights back in the car, make sure they actually work, because that would have probably been a good idea to do that before, but I've got faith that they're going to work. Yeah, whack some lithium grease on there, lock tight the nuts up, get it back together, and by Sunday it'll be a distant memory.